Hi, lovely viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we will be discussing the significations of the lunar eclipse taking place on the 8th of November 2022 for all zodiac signs. We will first start out by understanding what is a lunar eclipse scientifically and then understand what its meaning is astrologically. We will also get into personalized predictions for each of the zodiac signs after that to establish what are the themes presenting themselves for your sign during this eclipse period, whose significations can set out a redefined path for you right now until at least the end of the year 2022. If you are interested to know more about this, then keep watching further and please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Scientifically, a lunar eclipse arrives when the Earth stands between the Moon and the Sun. This cuts off the light of the Sun from the Moon. During these events, the Moon may become red, orange, brown, or disappear entirely. Astrologically, the lunar eclipse is a very intense lunation that takes place on a full moon. It is 3 times more potent than a regular full moon and often brings major endings, turning points, revelations, and culminations. Eclipses signify significant periods of change and transformation. These shifts do not take place all at once, though. They may start or continue on an eclipse, but their work continues throughout the period when the eclipses are occurring. Lunar eclipse reveals energies that help us complete a journey or shift our course in some way. Lunar eclipses bring fated endings, breakdowns, or breakthroughs. Lunar eclipses are also much more emotionally charged compared to a solar eclipse, as they are more feminine in nature and affect the emotional body to a greater degree. A lunar eclipse is an opportunity to create significant change in your life. This change may come about abruptly, as lunar eclipses tend to bring information to you from out of the blue. You may find yourself feeling surprised or even caught off guard at some of the things you learn about others or yourself over the lunar eclipse. Not all of this information is going to be negative. Some of it is positive and may even bring you inspiration along with encouragement to shift your life. Of course, some of the information you experience will initially feel negative and shocking, but after some consideration, it will bring positive and much needed changes in your life. You must be willing to experience, to take time to process any information coming your way and hold space for it. Lunar eclipses, like full moons, are revealing. They reveal the truth in an often dramatic way and let you learn things that change your life course. It's important to accept what is revealed on a lunar eclipse. You cannot fight this knowledge. You can only take it in and ask yourself, what is the highest manifestation that you can create with this energy? Even if you are brought unwanted news or unexpected events, know that these are the universe's way of giving you a life detour that will ultimately be the best course of action for your evolution. Open yourself to an information available on an eclipse and trust that it is landing in your life at the exact moment you need it. It is also important to understand that a lunar eclipse occurs to move you forward. It is an energetic push from the cosmos to take out any stagnant energies and old patterns. Sometimes this forward motion can feel disruptive to your nervous system, and you may even resist it initially. There is no moving backwards on a lunar eclipse. There is only a path forward. If you attempt to cling to the energies that no longer serve your evolution, you will only be met with frustration and misalignment. If the lunar eclipse reveals something in your life that needs to be released, it's best to find the least dramatic way to move on. The lunar eclipse and the month that follows it are an opportunity to detach from energies, emotions, and even people who do not serve your evolution. These changes can feel scary and uncomfortable, but once you cross the bridge to another way of being, you will feel as if you have broken through a wall built between you and your highest visions. Eclipses are the time to break through the barriers in whatever form they may take that prevent you from reaching your potential. The emotional nature of a lunar eclipse often can cause an emotional breakdown as you break through these energies. Hold space for yourself and give yourself time to process the information that is being revealed on the eclipse. Do not rush into any decisions at this time, but rather let the energy settle and then make whatever moves are needed to propel you forward. Open yourself up to the information and energy available to you and know that the universe is always here to support you and your journey. Seek to find peace and energetic calmness because, like all eclipses, it can bring some intense energy and emotions. Let your heart heal, and if a path speaks to you, then follow it. Not all transformation needs to be dramatic and full of complicated emotions. This eclipse is your chance to transform and shift old patterns into new ones that allow you to heal. It is your chance to simply let go. Not because some significant event has occurred or if someone is forcing you or you feel that you have no choice, but it is an opportunity to release these energies that no longer serve you without struggle or effort. Let go the way a petal drops from a flower because it's time. Feel the simplicity of this eclipse and let it shift your life away from chaos into the harmony as you come home to yourself. Now that we have understood what the lunar eclipse energy entails for you astrologically and how to harness its planetary significations, let's move to understanding the significations present in this particular lunar eclipse occurring on the 8th of November 2022 in the sign of Aries and in the nakshatra of Bharani. We have had a solar eclipse happen recently on the 25th of October 2022 in the sign of Libra in the nakshatra of Swati. So this set of eclipses is taking place on the 1-7 axis, or also called as the Aries-Libra axis. With the energies exhibiting during this lunar eclipse, we know that the planetary energies are urging us to find an end to our striving over independence and hyper self-reliance and rather be able to commit ourselves to beginning a new cycle of balance to be created within our relationships and partnerships as exhibited by the energy of the solar eclipse that took place in the sign of Libra. This lunar eclipse is taking place in the nakshatra of Bharani, and to understand what this means, first let's understand briefly what a nakshatra is and what are the central themes that are present in Bharani nakshatra. So the whole expanse of the 360 degree of the sky is divided into constellations or lunar mansions, and these are called nakshatras. These are lunar mansions as Vedic astrology considers moon signs as pivotal. There are 27 nakshatras which are connected to the 12 natal signs, and these were used to give a fine-tuned and precise prediction. Bharani nakshatra is the second one in the nakshatra belt of 27 lunar constellations. The ruling planet of this nakshatra is Venus, and its symbol is that of a yoni or a female reproductive organ. Also, the word Bharani itself means one who bears. When we put together all these significations, we understand that this nakshatra is closely related to the feminine energy and fertility. Now, the deity of this nakshatra is Lord of Death and Justice, Yamaraj. Yama plays a vital role in rejuvenation and maintaining the balance of the world through the continuous cycle of birth and death. The soul of a dead person is made to appear before him, and he passes the judgment according to the deeds that one has carried out in their earthly plane. He is also referred to as Dharmaraja due to his unwavering commitment to maintain order and harmony. And because of this reason, Bharani nakshatra is also referred to as a Krura or Ugra nakshatra, which means fierce and harsh, because it deals with themes of death, responsibility, forbearance, morality, karma, and hence is also known as the star of restraint. So, the nakshatra of Bharani is ruled by Venus, and this lunar eclipse is taking place in the sign of Aries, which is a sign ruled by Mars. So we get that when it comes to understanding what the results of this lunar eclipse are going to be like, we need to take into consideration what these two planets, that is Venus and Mars, are currently doing to gauge the complete picture. And this is where we understand why this lunar eclipse can be a little tedious, especially on your mind and emotions, because at this point, when the eclipse occurs, Venus is conjunct Ketu, Sun, and Mercury in the sign of Libra, and on the other hand, Mars is retrograde right now in the sign of Gemini. Now, if you want to understand what these planetary placements mean and signify for your sign, then you will see a video appear on the top right hand side of the video screen as a pop-up, which describes in detail how these placements of Venus and Mars can be disadvantageous for us right now. But the effect of this eclipse cycle is not only just going to be felt during the day it happens, but also before and after, at least until the end of the month or even the year 2022. Also, the whole theme of lunar eclipse giving rise to furnishing of hidden details coincides with the next cycle of planetary transits, wherein Venus, Sun, and Mercury will soon shift into the sign of Scorpio, which has similar energies to transformational secrets being brought to the surface, as well as Mars moving into Taurus, continuing its retrograde motion. A special mention regarding the occurrence of a major event happening in the US right now on the 8th of November, wherein there are elections being held to contest the seats in the Senate and the House of Representatives. And why this is cosmically consequential is because abortion-related ballot initiative has been stated multiple times in this election term, and this comes after the triggering of another cosmic event of conjunction of Mars and Rahu in Bharani Nakshatra earlier this year that had caused the overturning of Roe v. Wade by the US Supreme Court, which made abortion rights restricted and illegal. As Bharani is a nakshatra that is related to the female sexual organ and the reproductive system and is ruled by the justice-loving deity of Lord Yama, hence I'm expecting some major event related to women's rights, especially reproductive ones, to have some major resetting and change. And let's hope this time it's for the best. Now that we have discussed all the general significations of the lunar eclipse, let's move on to the personalized predictions for all the signs, and let's start out with Aries as it's taking place in their sign. For this video, I would recommend you to watch it for your ascendant sign, but also for your moon sign as well. So Aries, let's see what planetary energies the lunar eclipse is presenting for you. So we see that the lunar eclipse is taking place in your first house of self. The effect of the lunar eclipse on you is going to be very substantial when it comes to how you are viewing your own self, in consideration to, how basically you're supposed to end certain patterns that you are right now indulging in, which could indicative of an egotistical mindset right now, wherein your sole focus being just on you has created some sort of rifts within your relationships, be it your romantic or your business partnerships. The ruler of the sign of Aries, which is Mars, is right now retrograde, which means that its effect is even more palpable for you. And because this is happening in your third house at the time of the eclipse, so we see that because of this reason, you could have had some problems with the communicational channels that you're presenting right now, and also the efforts that you were being able to put into not just yourself, but also your relationships. And that sort of predicament is basically causing you to reevaluate and sort of eviscerate or let go of certain notions or certain ways that you kind of wanted your personality to be like, or how you wanted people to view you. So those sort of things and those sort of patterns are something which you will be dealing with during this lunar eclipse, and this can bring quite a substantial change into your own self-image as well. We also see that change of the planetary motion of the planets of Sun, Venus, and Mercury happening in the 8th house can bring forth certain facts or certain secrets in relation to your relationships, which can even make you sit back and kind of contemplate how to be able to talk about certain things and be able to even though it might actually lead you to have like confrontations and fights with people, but still be able to kind of make sure that your values are representative of the image that you want to cultivate, as Mars will further go into your second house in the retrograde motion. So all of these themes represent the fact that your values, your romantic partnerships, your business partnerships, how you're able to put effort into those things, and how you're able to communicate regarding certain things which were unspoken of, or certain things which can be quite taboo at this point in relation to your self image, and how that is in relation with the relationships that you have around you, is something that is a set theme for you regarding this lunar eclipse. And this is going to bring a huge change into how your whole personality is being viewed right now, or how you want to perceive your own self, and how you want to give off your image to other people as well. So basically letting go of certain things about you which you held really close to yourself, and that can kind of catalyze into some sort of change and some sort of healing emotions and those sort of channels as well. So let me know in the comment section if these predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. So Taurus, let's see what effect the lunar eclipse is going to have on you. So starting off with the fact that the lunar eclipse is going to be taking place in your 12th house, and this represents the fact that how you are right now viewing your potential and patterns of taking a few reins off of yourself, not being as forthcoming with working hard, and being able to be stubborn about your, let's say, your career prospects and things like that, and being able to let off some steam and kind of sit back and relax. Those kind of themes are something that are right now in consideration with the lunar eclipse, and this is going to be something which is going to be extremely critical when it even comes to your emotional levity, because your whole system of being able to just keep giving to people and not being able to receive the same amount of effort that you put into other people can be something that can be a catalytic shift into your perception right now. And this can even kind of have you introspect with relation to how you want to spiritually be connected within yourself and with your beliefs, in order to kind of be at peace with certain things regarding your own patterns, and being able to let go of that ability to keep giving other people rather than receiving things back from them. And that is something that can be the major theme of you right now for the lunar eclipse. Also because all this energy that is being present in the 6th house at this point is basically causing you to have this sort of channelization of the kind of energy you want to put into the people that you work around with, or the kind of dynamics that you have with people around you. Also because Mars is retrograde in the 2nd house at this point, which shows that how you're able to let your values stay in consistence with your efforts when it comes to how much you give people around you, but when it comes to the regard of having those sort of connections be beneficial to you, it seems to lack the expectations you have. So these sort of themes are present at that point, and in the fact that what kind of secretive revelations that this can bring forth, there might be some things relating to your relationships at work which might be revealed, which can help you to bridge the gap that you had wherein you were feeling unfulfilled or unsatisfied, and that can kind of push you to work towards being able to create those relationships and kind of rebalance the power dynamics in them. And also because Mars retrograde will be further continuing into your 1st house, it further shows that you are going to want to revamp how your whole perception is when it comes to how people are looking at you at this point, and how much effort you're willing to put into actually changing things around for yourself, and this can even amount to your health in general and the basic routine that you have or the kind of people that you have around you. So these are the main central focuses of your lunar eclipse at this point. Let me know in the comment section if the predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. So Geminis, let's see what planetary energies the lunar eclipse is bringing forth for you. So we see that this lunar eclipse is taking place in your 11th house, and this can show the propensity that you are right now re-evaluating what kind of network circle you have around you, or what kind of friends you have around you, or what kind of values you have, wherein rather than just focusing on others or just focusing on yourself, you would like to strike a sort of balance between those two endeavors and initiatives. And this sort of energy is going to basically maybe catalyze some sort of relationships in your life to break down in some ways, wherein you will have to release these sort of equations because they are stagnating you at this point rather than helping you evolve further. And this is going to be happening with respect to the kind of people you have around you, and also with respect to the sort of financial gains you're looking at right now, to be incumbent from the people that you have around you, to be able to network and kind of create more gains. And that is something that is going to be the major focus for you during this lunar eclipse. And this is further sort of solidified by the fact that retrograde will be happening in your first house at that point. Hence, your whole perspective and demeanor can be so self-serving that at this point certain people can get averse to it, and they might actually you might confront those people, or there might be some sort of rifts which are created on the basis of the kind of personality you are at this point projecting onto people, or the kind of demeanor you have which might be egregious to people. So that sort of feeling can come forth within your network circle. So basically this energy is going to weed out the people who are not right now with you when it comes to your want to only be able to focus on yourself and bettering yourself. So those sort of people might actually be alienated from your surrounding right now. And further we see that in context of what sort of secrets or what sort of things which might come forth during this lunar eclipse, because all this planetary energy is going to be transiting in your 6th house. So this shows that there might be actually some sort of revelations or secrets which might be revealed regarding your workplace, or regarding in context of when it comes to monetary functions, maybe something relating to your debts, or something relating to the things that you do in your routine generally, or also in relation to your health, which can be a little transformative at this point. And you have to be careful with regards to even how you're spending or what you're spending on, and not letting it actually catapult into higher losses, because Mars will be retrograde in your 12th house, and this can show the ability for you to have to deal with higher losses than you actually were set out to, because you were on this investing journey to be able to catapult your finances and your profits. So this sort of energy is the underlying theme for you during this lunar eclipse. Let me know in the comment section if the predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Cancers, for you, what planetary energies this lunar eclipse is going to bring forth is that this is happening in your 10th house of public perception, and this can mean that right now your public perception and how that is basically in tandem with the kind of work or the kind of responsibilities you have at this point. So there are some sort of endings that need to be presented when it comes to the effort or being able to put in the amount of dedication you have regarding your work, and how that work is basically tying in with the sort of personality you want to exude right now, or the kind of perception you want people to have. So you will right now have to sort of let go of the two halves of you, which is like not to correlate your work personality with who you really are, but be able to let go of those two parts of yourself, and also be able to focus at your home and the dynamics that you have at your home, because that is something which was at this point struggling because of all the planetary energies in your fourth house, and the basic dynamics at your house were something which was struggling. So you need to be able to kind of make sure that you're not only just right now focusing on your work and letting that rule your mentality, as in making you feel better, but also focus on other sort of parts of yourself and your life to be able to strike a balance there as well. And with Mars's transit in the retrograde motion in your 12th house, this further shows that there might have been some losses regarding things in your life at this point, which are which would have been something which would be quite troubling to you, and that is something that you have to maybe rein in and be able to take further cognizance of, to be able to lessen the impact of those losses onto even your mental health. And further, what is going to happen is Mars is going to go in the retrograde motion in your 11th house. So this shows that you might be right now, being able to wade through your financial investments and how you're basically able to catapult them into higher profits, so that rather than losing out, you're able to gain more, and that will make you feel much more stable in general. And also you need to focus on how you are being perceived by people, what personality you're exuding, and be able to also focus on the general themes of fun and excitement and creativity when it comes to all the planetary energies and which are being put forth by the transits that are happening through your fifth house. So this is the basic underlying function, or the basic underlying theme for you during this lunar eclipse. Let me know in the comment section if these predictions resonated for you. Thank you so much for watching. So Leos, let's see what planetary energies the lunar eclipse is bringing forth for you. And this is happening in your 9th house. So we see that because of this lunar eclipse, you will have to contemplate what sort of religious or spiritual or philosophical beliefs you have, and how you are basically able to bridge a gap between the kind of ideals and beliefs you hold and the kind of ideals and beliefs the people around you hold, and how you're able to network based on those things and despite of those things as well, and how you're able to communicate regarding your beliefs in a way that is not confrontational or prone to violent outbursts, and are able to resolve the conflict by your communicational channels. And that is something which is the major theme for your lunar eclipse, because the Venus and Mars at this point will be affecting your 3rd and your 11th house. So the whole prospect of how you're able to channelize your religious or your spiritual beliefs and how you're able to talk about them with your near and dear ones, be it your friends group or your network circle or the general larger group of people you are associated with with regards to these sort of ideals, is something that will be the major theme for you regarding this lunar eclipse. And when these energies are going forth and transiting into the sign of Scorpio, what sort of things can be brought forth regarding these things is that you can feel that you're able to develop a sort of community or develop a sort of channel wherein you can feel at home regarding certain practices or regarding certain ideals that you have adopted or that you have let go of, and that is something which is going to make you feel much better and much at comfort within how you're dealing or how you are at this point. And this can also lead you to kind of evaluate what sort of public perception you would like to have with regards to these ideals that you have, or even what kind of career prospects that you kind of look into with regards to the educational qualifications and the educational degrees that you have at this point, and your educational pursuits that you're undertaking, and how that is supposed to in tandem affect your work-life balance and the kind of career you want to pursue. So these are the kind of themes that you can expect to come forth during this lunar eclipse for you. Let me know in the comment section if these predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Virgos, for you, how how this planetary energy exhibited by the lunar eclipse is going to be affecting you, we see that this is happening in your 8th house. And this is quite a significant thing because the moon is basically debilitated in the 8th house. So for you right now, you can be grappling with emotions with relation to very hidden things, or the things that you cannot basically talk about in general to other people. And that is the sort of thing that can make you even hold back with regards to how you're able to connect with other people, and how you're able to basically feel that your networking skills are even affecting your professional prospects at work, and how people are pursuing you. So you can be quite withdrawn or quite secretive at this point, wherein people are not able to put a finger onto what your values or what your initiative or what your motives are, and that can kind of parlay into you even facing some sort of issues regarding your public perception at work or your professional prospects as well. So this is the basic underlying theme that you can experience right now. Also, as the transits happen of planets, and we can see that this kind of energy that goes into your 3rd house, and also retrograde as it progresses into the sign of Taurus in your 9th house, we will see that you can further kind of start to open up about, things related to even finance, and how you're kind of looking at deriving profits from other people's initiatives or other people's money. And that sort of tries to be able to have your beliefs be transformed in a way that even changes your basal value systems, even when it comes to your familial values, can be something that you might be experiencing at this point. And this will kind of make you reevaluate what kind of efforts you're putting into your professional prospects, and how you want to be able to kind of build a sort of community on the basis of your not just your values, but also your spiritual, religious, and your philosophical beliefs, and that sort of making of the kind of circle that you want to cultivate around you. And that is the sort of energy which can come forth, and this is going to be quite substantially a transformative energy for you. So these are the kind of significations you can experience during this time. Let me know in the comment section if you resonated with any of the predictions. Thank you so much for watching. Libras, for you, how this lunar eclipse and the planetary energies exhibiting around it is going to be affecting you. We see that this is happening in your 7th house of romantic partnerships and business partnerships. So you can at this point have these sort of cosmic sort of changes happening around you with the kind of relationships that you have with people, that can even transform and start to make a difference within your own perception, and how you want your personality to be like, and how you want to kind of get out of a people pleasing zone and more into a very introspected energy expenditure, rather than forcing yourself to kind of keep people around you just so that you can be as pleasing or as pleasant to everyone around you. So that sort of energy kind of brings forth during this lunar eclipse. And also, not just on the basis of your relationships, but you can also have these kind of conflicts with regards to what sort of ideals or what sort of beliefs the people around you have. And that can be something which kind of starts to make you consider, weeding through people and being able to exterminate certain individuals which do not basically coincide with the kind of values that you have at this point when it comes to with regards to, let's say, your religious, your spiritual, and your philosophical beliefs. And that is something which will become quite substantial for you. And when we see that the following transits of planets happen when your planetary energies transfer into the 2nd house and also the 8th house, we see that you are going to be further looking into what sort of values you have, and how your religious, spiritual, and your philosophical beliefs tie into your familial beliefs, and how basically that whole energy is going to make you even outlook what sort of relationship you have yourself with money, and how you're able to catapult that, and how you're able to basically make profit out of the kind of relationships you have within your network circle at this point. So these are the kind of energies which can bring forth a sort of change within the kind of people you have around you, bring sort of some sort of endings with the relationships that are not serving your purpose right now, wherein you want to elevate in your, even in your spiritual journey, let's say. So these kind of things are something that you can experience during this lunar eclipse period. Let me know in the comment section if these predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Scorpios, how this lunar eclipse and the planetary energies around it are going to turn out for you. We see that your lunar eclipse is happening in the 6th house for you, and we see that what this can signify is that you can be quite ridden with, let's say, an anxious thought process, wherein the people around you right now in your workplace and the kind of relationships you have with people can become a little suspicious, wherein the kind of communication that is happening behind your back, or the communicational channels which are sort of quite secretive regarding your, let's say, the kind of work that you're doing, or the kind of general persona that you're able to exhibit at work, is sort of leading people to kind of disassociate with you in a way, or you yourself are kind of losing people out of your network circle. So we see that there's this sort of disillusion, or the breaking away or loss of certain people around you at this point, wherein you're kind of disengaging with certain sort of relationships, be it professional, and mostly trying to set the narrative straight regarding how you are perceived at work, and what sort of narrative basically about your work prowess is being laid out within your colleagues or your network circle at work. And when there is this transit of planets, wherein there is this energy which is changing from the 12th house into your first house, so you will see that there's a lot of regeneration, or there's a lot of new beginnings with regards to how people are going to be perceiving you after you sort of cut ties with certain people who are maybe spreading the wrong narrative about you. Or it can also be with regards to when the retrograde Mars moves into your 7th house, that how you're able to rebuild on your relationships, and how you're able to cultivate a better sort of dynamic with the kind of network circle, or even the romantic relationships that you are cultivating at this point, rather than falling into the same aspect of having certain mysterious, secrets or narratives come out to you suddenly, and those causing you to have to alienate yourself in a certain way, or cause you to kind of cut down people in your life, and set the narrative straight so that your own mental health can be preserved at that point. So those are the kind of basic themes that you can see happening around your lunar eclipse cycle, and this can also help you to kind of catapult a better health regime, or a better suitable sort of change in your daily routine that can cause you to have a better health cycle, and feel much better in your general vitality. So let me know in the comment section if any of these predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. Sagittarians, for you, let's see how the planetary energies exhibiting during the lunar eclipse is going to be affecting you. We see that this is happening in your 5th house, and how this is going to basically impact you is that the kind of personality that you derive from being able to associate your creative processes, being able to derive fun and excitement from things, all these kind of themes are something that you will have to reevaluate, and you will have to be able to let go of certain things when it comes to how you're associating with certain things, and how you're linking them to your personality. And this can even be with regards to your romantic relationships, and how you are basically able to cultivate those and be able to manage them, and rather than have it dissipate because of not having proper communicational channels, which are also represented by the fact that Mars retrograde is happening in your 7th house of romantic partnerships. And even business partnerships. So what this means is that you will right now be focusing on to having this sort of beginning, or having this sort of starting to kind of diversify your network circle, being able to make more friends at this point. And this is sort of going to be helping you in order to understand and evaluate your own personality, and how you are able to change that whole concept of what are the things that you derive fun from, what are the things that you get excitement out of. And these sort of things can be themed when it comes to your analysis for the lunar eclipse. And when these kind of planetary energies transit into your 12th house, this can also show the fact that there might be some changes which might be created, because of which you will want to kind of lose certain people in your life, or even lose certain parts of your own personality and self, which have been creating this sort of barrier, helping you to evaluate and basically escalate higher in your life. You can even say increase your vibrance and frequency and things like that. So these are the kind of things you will contemplate at that point, and you will also further be able to really focus your energy into how you want to diversify your circle at work as well, and how that will basically help you to create better channels of profits, and how that is going to help you to be able to relate to things which are more positive in nature rather than negative. And that can basically help you to create better groups of people, rather than just depending on, let's say, your romantic relationships for that sort of comfort or that sort of excitement that you crave in life at this point. So these are the kind of central themes you will be experiencing during this lunar eclipse. Please let me know if any of the predictions resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching. So Capricorns, how this lunar eclipse period and the planetary energies surrounding this period are going to be affecting you. We see that this lunar eclipse is taking place in your 4th house. So this means that because of the moon's influence on the house, which is also associated with the sign that is ruled by moon, which is Cancer, see that right now you are very much inclined to sort of break away or have certain sort of changes with regards to the equation you have with your family and the home. All the kind of relationships you have with people at your home, with your familial relations, is something that you are right now looking into and you're sort of purging through. And that is basically going to be aided with the fact that you are right now focusing on beginning certain new ventures or beginning certain new relationships at your workplace, and how you're basically able to catapult those relationships into a better perception of yourself within people. And that is the sort of energy which is exhibiting itself, wherein you are right now focused on to creating that sort of harmony within your professional workspace and creating the sort of relationships you want, despite the fact that there is some sort of pushback regarding your perception at the workplace and how people in general are kind of treating you or communicating with you with regards to your authority at work. So these are the kind of things that you will be working on, and the kind of attention or the kind of effort that you're able to be putting into your familial relationships at home is something that you will be reconsidering and kind of letting go of to a certain extent. And that is something that can be the major theme for you during this lunar eclipse period. Also, when these kind of planets transit and they change their energies within your 11th house, you can see that there is a lot of change regarding the kind of network circle you keep around yourself at work, or the kind of work friends that you have, and how these people are basically able to help you to further your profits at work, or even just general profits with regards to finances. And also how with the Mars's retrograde transit also moving towards Taurus, you will see that you will be very much focused on to revamping how you are being perceived at work, how your personality is being exhibited, and how basically you're able to talk about the things wherein your personality doesn't seem overbearing, but rather it seems more effervescent and fun. around people. So those are the kind of things you can experience during this lunar eclipse period. And I hope these predictions have resonated with you. If so, let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching. Aquarians, for you, how the planetary energies surrounding during the lunar eclipse are going to be affecting you. We see that this is taking place in your third house. So we can see that your emotions right now are very much interlinked with your sense of self, and how you're able to kind of amalgamate the kind of efforts you're able to put right now with the kind of self image you have, with regards to how you're able to basically bridge the gap between your self understanding of how much hard work you want to put into things, and how much you want to cultivate that sort of relationship with your closed ones, the people who you are in a close knit relationship with. And that sort of thing is something that you will be basically experiencing during this lunar eclipse. You will also be forming communicational channels with the kind of people you have around you when it comes to the sort of similar belief systems that you have, like religious or spiritual or philosophical beliefs. And these are the kind of people you will be kind of beginning to form relationships with, and create those sort of friendships or create those sort of dynamics which will help you kind of be able to be more communicative about your own ideals, and be able to put your efforts into something that feels more authentic to you, which with regards to even your personality or the things that you feel that you want to be able to enjoy and be able to connect with people on the basis of. So these are the kind of things we can see because of all the planetary energies also concentrating in your ninth and your fifth house. This can also show that your educational pursuits and prospects are something that are right now calling you to provide more focus and hard work towards. And that is also a thing that can be presented during this lunar eclipse. And when these kind of planetary energies move into different signs, and this is happening in your 10th house, so we see that all this thinking about your professional prospects in relation to your educational pursuits is something that you will be contemplating and thinking about, as well as creating these sort of dynamic relationships wherein these can help you transform the kind of career that you are looking to take, and the kind of professional basically pursuits that you want to undertake. And further, when Mars's retrograde transit moves into the fourth house, you can see that there might be some sort of changes with regards to your residency, where you're staying, how you're staying, what are the conditions of the places that you're staying at. So these kind of themes can present themselves during this lunar eclipse period for you. I hope you resonated with the predictions that have been shared. Let me know in the comment section if you did, and thank you so much for watching. Pisces, for you, how the planetary energies exhibiting themselves during the lunar eclipse will be affecting you. We see that this eclipse is happening in your second house. So we will see that your general bonding with your family and how you kind of relate to them on the kind of familial values you have in tandem with the family equations is something that will be the central theme of this lunar eclipse for you. You can be right now in a phase where you are purging the sort of relationships you have, because there are some sort of communications that have come forth wherein those are the kind of things that you would have felt were kept away from you or a secret from you, and those sort of things has led to a detriment to your personal relations. It can also show that when it comes to your familial relations, there's a lot of tension with regards to maybe something, especially when it comes to your property matters, or also something in relation to your money in general, when it comes to how you view your monetary security and investments, and how your family is able to view those things. So these are the central themes of the changes that you will be expected to expound on during this lunar eclipse period. And also, when these planetary energies transit and they further move ahead into your ninth house, we can see that you will start to feel that you want to kind of change and be able to create a better sort of belief systems and values which are much different than your family when it comes to your religious, your spiritual, and your philosophical beliefs. And this can also lead you to actually have this sort of the kind of effort that you would like to put into your endeavors, and especially when it comes to also in relation to your educational pursuits, because Mars, when goes into retrograde in your third house in the sign of Taurus, it shows that you will be kind of evaluating how you're putting efforts into diversifying your ideals with regards to your religious and philosophical beliefs, as well as how much effort you're able to put into your educational pursuits, and how that is basically going to pave the way for you to be able to change your whole perception about what your reality is in relation to your belief systems. So those are the kind of major themes that you are going to experience during this eclipse period. I hope the predictions have resonated with you. If so, then leave your experiences in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching. And with discussing all of these personalized predictions for all the signs with regards to the effects caused by the lunar eclipse on 8th of November 2022 in Aries and Bharani Nakshatra, we come to the end of this video. If you related to the predictions shared in this video, then please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as your support truly means a lot. I'll see you next soon with the new video. Until then, take care you all.